Okay, third movie this week.
Welcome to season 3.
Yep. Okay, there we go. All right. So this is Taken 3. It's better than Legend of Hercules.
Although it doesn't have a penis sword.
No, it doesn't have a penis sword.
It may as well. There's enough explosions.
This is really stupid.
It is. It really is.
Like, I mean, even by action movie standards, this was stupid.
Oh, and I have a one-sentence piece of advice for the director if he chooses to continue making action films. Hold the camera still.
Yeah, it's okay to have a shot that's longer than 1 second. It really is.
Uh-huh.
The shaky camera's really bad in this.
Oh, it's terrible. I mean, in the first Taken movie...
It was shaky. It wasn't this bad.
Yeah, it was shaky, but you could see what was going on. You could appreciate the action, because it was directed by a different person.
Yeah, that was pretty clear in the first 5 minutes. Like, did we just, stumble into an entirely different franchise?
Yes. But, with the second Taken movie, and even more so with this one, the camera doesn't sit still, so you can see the kicks, the dodges, the punches. You can't see what's going on.
The entire time I was watching this movie, all I could think was, I just wish I was watching John Wick, because that is such a better movie.
I haven't seen it yet. So.
It's actually a fantastic action movie.
Nice.
It made my top 10 list. But,
awesome.
Yeah, but it's their two movies are going for a similar feel and look, and I was like, I'd rather be watching the other one because it does everything here so much better. And that's, I think I was talking to you, it was this whole plot could have been solved in 5 minutes, not even that, a minute.
Yeah.
And everything here is just made needlessly complicated.
This movie is a horrible advertisement for the Los Angeles Police Department because it depicts them as being a bunch of dumb fucks.
Well, they're trying to play it as they're that's the thing. This movie's trying to be smarter than it is, and it's really not. The cops aren't as incompetent as, say, the police force in Dexter. Which is way worse. They didn't even know what IP was until some other person told them in the series. Not kidding. You know what an IP is, right?
Not off the top of my head.
A computer IP address? Yeah, there you go. Okay. There you go. You're giving me a blank look, so I was like, do you know what that is?
I'm a goody two-shoes. I'm not a spy.
That's okay. You're not in the police force, so you're okay.
Yeah.
No, instead of, just... My first thought was, for someone who's supposed to be a smart detective, you could have solved this case in 5 minutes, or at least cleared Brian Mills' names in 5 minutes if you did your damn job. Okay, so for those who don't know what the story is, God help you, is basically, first off, it takes a surprisingly long time for anything to happen in this movie.
Yes, with the first two, the world and the story was established pretty quickly in the first act. This first act lingers and takes its time, and it really doesn't need to.
Because, the first two movies are pretty straightforward revenge flicks.
Yes.
They knew exactly the dumbass audience they're going for in this.
Yes.
This one, again, is it's trying to be, Taken plus the Italian Job, and it just doesn't work. No.
And even the Italian Job is, and I'm referring to the remake, not the 1968 version.
Yeah, same.
Even the remake of The Italian Job had charm, and it was paced better than this.
Yeah, as what happens is, after a long series of exposition crap, Brian Mills' ex-wife, played by Famke Janssen, is killed, and Brian gets blamed for the murder. Now, immediately, I saw 50 red flags off the top of my head of why this makes absolutely zero fucking sense, that Brian would be blamed for this. And why Brian immediately fought back. It's just no, dude, you need an afternoon to explain shit, and you're fine. You don't need to kill everyone.
Yeah, but I guess they thought that, oh, there hasn't been action yet.
So we need to start punching things for no reason. That kind of sums up a lot of the movie, where it's like...
Pretty much.
I mean, at least in the first... And the Taken series aren't like classic cinema or anything. It's not like up there with Die Hard. They're pretty straightforward, but...
The first one, it is savage and a lot of fun. I do genuinely like the first one. The second one was not as good, but it made more sense than this one.
Yeah. But just right off the bat, this is like the equivalent of Die Hard 5 for the Die Hard franchise, and just how different and how pointless it is.
And I was telling you in the theater, Liam Neeson, Bruce Willis, same difference at this point.
At this point in the career, yeah, Bruce Willis is kind of like, I'll do whatever the hell you want. Liam Neeson, I'll do whatever the hell you want. It's gonna be $20.
Don't get me wrong, I like both those.
No, I love
those
Liam
actors.
Neeson. I love Liam Neeson, and I heard Bruce Willis is kind of a jackass, but I like him in action movies. But yeah, you can tell they're at the point in the career where they just stop caring at some point.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, job, let's do this.
I mean, Liam Neeson last year, what he did, A Million Ways to Die in the West, Non-Stop,
That's right.
the Lego Movie, which is actually fantastic. But,
Yes, I hope that made your list.
it did. It
Okay,
did.
cool.
And then I think what else was there? Oh yeah, he also did. He's doing Ted 2 that comes out this year.
And we actually got a Liam Neeson trailer, which we'll talk
I
about
forgot
later.
about that. But
He's still getting work, is what we're saying.
He did another movie that was actually surprisingly good. That was called A Welcome on the Tombstone last year. We actually really liked that one. But anyway, so
He's still a good actor. He's still getting work. All the more power to him. But I think he's accepted that the fact that genuinely good parts are fewer and further between.
I just think he cares less, to be honest.
That too.
He made more majority of his career off like Oscar-winning movies, like
Schindler's List.
Schindler's List, Gangs in New York. He did all kinds of good shit back in the day. Now he just like, fuck it. Apparently we're in an age where we want to see old men beat the crap out of everyone. As the Expendable series is any indication. So that's in right now. Go figure. So anyway, what happens is, I guess Famke Jensen's having marriage problems with her douchebag husband. And then she tells him about that, says, I want to divorce him, basically. Then the husband comes in, says, I don't want you to see my wife anymore.
When Brian Mills didn't go out of his way to see Lenore, she came to him.
Yeah, that's what's noting. And then the next day, Brian gets a text from Brian Mills, being Liam Neeson, if you don't know.
Yes.
Gets a text from her saying, I want to see you in your apartment. So he goes, but go buy bagels. So he goes out, buys bagels, comes back, finds her dead in her bed. And
finds her dead
in his bed.
In his bed. And that's when the cops
show up 5 seconds later, and I'm like, immediately have a problem, because you basically told him to go out and buy an alibi, which he has. And instead of saying, going to the office saying, I didn't do this, I was at the bagel store, people saw me, talked to them, I'm on security cameras.
Yes, and it's established in a scene later in the movie when the main inspector is eating at the bagel shop. He looks up and sees a security cam there. So there is footage.
There's no reason. There's
documentation that he didn't do it.
And the bagel bag was on the coffee table. When the inspector gets there, he looks at it, eats one of the bagels.
You're not supposed to eat evidence, by the way.
Oh yeah, because we're going for that kind of realism for this. But anyway, he eats it, looks at the bag label, goes to the bagel shop later, and surprisingly, the thought to check the security camera, ask the person working the desk, never occurs to her at all. And on top of that, there's like no blood at the scene.
Uh-huh.
The wound looked old. 1,000 reasons why this made no sense.
Yep.
So that bugged me through the entire thing. After that, I just kept thinking, this seems radically unnecessary.
At a few points, I couldn't help but...
Oh yeah, like some of the action, this is absurd.
Oh, it's ridiculous. It made me laugh. I had to restrain myself from laughing more loudly than I did.
Yeah, like there's a part where... This goes in the case, this is another movie I have to keep using the phrase for some reason. which is really just it's a bad subgenre of action movies where like none of the action makes sense. You just go, he did this for some reason, and then he went over here for some reason, and then just there's.
And unlike the other two Taken films where Brian Mills went to foreign countries and that's where all the action happened, in this one the foreigners came to Los Angeles and the action happens in the United States.
But he's still beating up foreigners, so
yes,
it still makes that
this
Taken
time Russians.
Wasn't it Russians in the last one, or just like European?
I think it was European, maybe Ukrainian. I'm not entirely certain. I don't remember them being Russian specifically. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong.
It's not that important. He's killing foreign people, so that makes it okay.
Yes, he's killing European foreigners.
Go America.
I think one line that one of the Russians said after Brian Mills's car
which just
explodes, and you know he's not dead because he may as well be a superhero because he's Brian Mills and he's not gonna die because it's his movie. One of the
I don't know, Jesus died in his movie.
Dun-dun-dun.
Yeah, I know, but he came back, so it's okay.
After they think that they've killed him by basically running his car off a cliff, and the car
just randomly explodes for no reason. A lot of these action sequences feel like they just tacked on one last thing. Is fuck it, throw that in there.
I lost count after 3-4 explosions.
Like there's one point where I'm sorry, I'll let you finish your finish your story.
Yes. So after his car explodes, one of the Russian hitmen says, "Okay, let's go drunk." And I thought that perfectly summed up this movie.
Yeah, I kind of wish I had more. I should have, but I can't do that now. I'm in the driver's side.
Okay.
She's pulling a bottle of Jack Daniels in case you were curious.
There's only a sip left.
I'm just no. That would make me look really bad, and this could hold up in court because we have video evidence. Anyway, unless we get this department, in which case it probably won't matter. But anyway, like some of the action sequences are weird, and that feel like they need to tack on one last thing that defies the laws of physics for the sake of pissing off Newton. Because there's one point where, again, for some reason, Brian Mills lets himself get captured by police after looking at his security tape in a gas station.
I think he did that so he could hack the police computer files, which he does.
Okay, that's sure. Okay, I'll go with it. Even though he could have just gone to the police station, explained everything to the cops, and everything would have been fine. Because they weren't even any dirty cops, so it's like there's no reason.
Just very dumb cops.
There's very dumb cops. There's no reason they cannot just go with like, look, I was at the bagel shop. Check the tape. Boom. I solved your murder.
Yeah, but then this would only be maybe 20 minutes instead of 2 hours.
Yeah, and you know what? That would not have been. Was this movie really 2 hours?
I don't know.
I think it's like probably close to 1:45.
Okay.
Close enough.
Yeah, rounding up.
Yeah, but anyway, for some reason they end up on the other side of the freeway, which causes a multi-car pileup. Because that part I buy. Which then proceeds. There is a giant truck with one of the giant cargo containers strapped to the back. The truck massively turns, blocks off pretty much the entire freeway, and even after the truck has stopped, it's stopped at this point, the cargo container just breaks off the car, doesn't just roll out, it flies!
It flies over cop cars, speeding on, I'm guessing, one of the LA freeways, and just lands flat!
How'd that go again? Sound like Zoidberg there for a second.
Sorry.
You know, if you expect a cause a big baby.
That was unintentional on my part.
I know, but it made me laugh.
This movie made me laugh.
Yeah, you were laughing more than I did. I was just in there like, fucking really? We're doing this shit? Liam Neeson's got the crap kicked out of him by a guy in his tighty whities? Okay. That was a weird scene.
that bothered me, because
Well, he couldn't kick him. He was on his hands and knees.
his junk was right there. He could have just, I don't know, kicked. He could have done something to debilitate that guy pretty easily.
He did, to be fair. I mean, it was still a stupid action sequence, but...
Very.
Because I was like, again, I was thinking, I'd much rather be watching John Wick right now. Because I feel like I've seen this, and it was done way better. I can't wait for the movie to come out on DVD. It comes out, like, on February 2nd. I can't wait. You should Redbox that, by the way. It's totally worth your time.
Okay.
But, yeah, I'd rather watch... That's all I can think of right now is I'd rather be watching other movies, other better action movies than this. Because, like, yeah, I mean, there's violence and there's what you expect Liam Neeson to do. There wasn't quite as much as I was expecting there was going to be. And like I said, there's so much shaky cam that, God help you can figure out what the hell's going on.
Like I said, you can't appreciate the action because you can't see it clearly.
I don't know. I'm hoping the quick cuts and the shaky cam starting to fade out as far as, you know, the trend is slowly fading away, but...
I think it is, but I don't think this director has gotten the memo yet.
No, definitely not. This is kind of like... This is more like the Expendables 3 of this franchise, where it's just like, well, that was kind of pointless.
Yeah.
That's kind of what this feels like. I mean, you know exactly how it's going to end. You know exactly what the twist is going to be. You know exactly
Even I saw it coming, and I ordinarily don't catch twists, but
I mean,
it's
like,
so blatantly obvious.
I mean, the guy who turned out to be was a complete douchebag turns out to be the villain. Oh, I'm shocked.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah. Spoiler alert: the current husband, Kim's stepfather, is the bad guy behind it all.
Another case of there had to be an easier way to do this than what he did.
Seriously.
Which is like, oh wait, no, I'm not just gonna kill my wife some other way and give him the insurance money. I'm gonna use her ex-husband's cell phone, text her, telling her where to go to a secret place, get a hitman to kidnap her, wait until after Brian leaves to go buy bagels, which really is a terrible plan.
Yes.
Then go into your apartment and make it look like he killed him, poorly. Then have talk to him, convince him to kill the other Russian guy to protect Kim. And then kidnap Kim for no real reason.
Other than I'm evil.
And then
basically
fly away on a plane.
Try to, anyway.
Try to. And it's like, there had to be an easier way to do this.
Seriously.
Like, if you can do all this, why not just fake your own death?
You may as well have.
I was like, that would have been so much simpler.
Yeah, it would.
Right? I was like, you have all these resources. It probably would not be that hard.
Yeah.
And then you can fly away in your private jet, which you have for some reason. And then using your own insurance money to... My plan is better! I'm sure it's just as many holes, but...
And you thought of it in what, 1 minute?
About, yeah. It's like, find a way to collect your own insurance, but hell, get your wife on it, because she wants you out of your life anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, talk to her, give him to give you your own insurance money, go on your private jet, fly away, boom, you're good! You don't need all this complicated hula-bala. Hullabaloo. Hullabala. Either one's fine.
Basically. And, yes, we're skipping, details, but
who gives a shit about the details?
Yeah, that's the movie in a nutshell. I've pretty much said what I wanted to say about it.
Yeah, this is just dumb. That's really what it comes down to.
It's very dumb. And yes, the Brian Mills character is still awesome, but I'd rather just watch the first Taken movie. That's still the best part of the franchise. The director of the other two is not a good action film director. No.
And this is also comes from a studio I've never heard of, which is also kind of a red flag.
Definitely.
It's like when we saw Left Behind and we got like a introduction of a studio that looks like it was made for a PS1 game. We're just like, uh-oh, we're in trouble. Because, like, literally the first 5 minutes, it's an entirely different movie that belongs in an entirely different franchise.
And there are at least a dozen sweeping tracking shots of of city skylines within the first
with
fi-
weird
5
music
minutes.
choices. I was like,
Yes.
this is not Taken.
No, it didn't look like Taken. It didn't feel like Taken until after the first few scenes, basically.
I mean, Taken is a grimy, dirty film series. Like, everything looks
Yes.
kind of muddled and intentionally dark. And this one is like, this is way too bright. This feels like this is one of the newer Die Hard movies.
I would have to concur with that.
So it's like, again, comes down to this is easy. It's just a cheap cash grab. That's all it was. Although, to be fair, Liam Neeson did not threaten anyone on a phone this time. There was that.
True.
So he's breaking the Liam Neeson checklist on that one.
But he did say good luck on the phone.
He did. Yeah, I caught that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I kind of roll my eyes a little bit. I was like, oh, just because you can call back. You remind me of a better movie. Shame on you.
Yes, the first Taken is a much better movie.
Oh, this person left his lights on.
Oopsie.
Oop.
I
This is a good chance to take a commercial break.
yeah, pause.
Okay, there we go. So now it's a good time as any transition to trailers.
Yes.
Because we got a lot of them.
we did, and as I said, including a Liam Neeson trailer.
Yes. Most of these trailers were new. There was only like one or two I've gotten before. We did get a new trailer for Mordecai, which I actually kind of want to see.
Okay.
I don't know. It looks kind of.
Which one was it again?
That was the Johnny Depp one,
Oh yeah. Okay.
where he's all fancy and British and all that, and
It
being weird ass Johnny Depp.
actually reminded me of an independent movie that was a spy comedy that was out
Yeah.
5 or more years ago. I think the name of that movie was Wild Target. It kind of reminded me of that in the sense of being a quirky British type spy comedy.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen Johnny Depp in a movie that I actually liked. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't think he's a bad actor. He's just been kind of running the same shtick for a long time.
Fair point.
Yeah.
He has played a variety of roles, though, so over the course of his career, I mean.
True, and a lot of that's been under Tim Burton's banner.
Yes, they
I
do like to collaborate.
I think, what was that joke when it was announced that he was getting a divorce from Helen Bonham Carter? It's like, which one gets custody of Johnny Depp?
I hadn't heard that. Nice.
Which, yeah, basically. So, I don't know, it has potential. I mean, it doesn't look like hilarious, but like, it could be charming. But,
Good.
Then we got Run All Night. Was that the Liam Neeson one?
Yes.
Okay. I'm trying to remember. Is it that or Unfinished Business? Which one was Unfinished Business?
I don't remember.
We'll come to that. We'll come back to that one.
Yes.
So Run All Night is another Liam Neeson action movie that looks an awful lot like John Wick. Maybe I'm just projecting. I think I just really want to go watch that movie now.
I have a guess as to what you're doing later tonight.
It's not on DVD yet. I can't get it for another week.
Uh,
And that just breaks my heart just a little bit.
oh, 7 days. Poor you.
I know, my poor, sad, pathetic life. I don't know. It looks like your standard Liam Neeson movie fare.
Basically, although it looks better than Taken 3.
Yeah. 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 So you can. It's this movie you know where you're getting yourself into.
Yes.
Speaking of which, I don't know why this says 7 movies. Fast 7. I was laughing. You were just like, oh dear God, why?
Yes, because you and Raj reviewed
Yeah, I kinda,
Fast 6 in season 1 of this vlog series.
I kind of liked Fast 6.
Okay.
Mostly because it's so stupid, and it's kind of aware of it, because that movie had a tank on the freeway fighting sports cars. So you can't do that without some sense of self-awareness. This one has a bus, an armored bus, with motherfucking miniguns attached to it.
Oh, and in the trailer, there is a shot of cars parachuting out of...
Yes, that's the opening shot
of a plane?
Of a cargo plane.
How are... I don't understand.
And it also had The Rock holding a giant-ass minigun in the middle of the street. At least I think that was The Rock.
Yes.
And, I mean, it has Vin Diesel versus Jason Statham. No matter what, I'm there.
Fair enough.
That's enough to sell me. The rest, I don't know. It's gonna be like the last one where it's so stupid, it's fun, or it just really pushes the limits of how much I can take before I go, oh, stop, just stop. I say that after we saw parachuting planes, of course. So I think we're kind of pushing that limit. But,
yes.
I don't know. It's a Fast and Furious movie. You kind of know what you're getting yourself into, so...
And it apparently only took them 2 years to make it since the last one.
Well, I mean, this is the last... wasn't even that one actor who died last year?
A lot of actors died last year.
Well, this one was particularly known for the Fast and Furious franchise. The guy with the... he was the guy that jumped off the bus at the last second before he fell off the cliff.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember his name, but I know it's like the last movie he did before he died, so this one has also that going for it, too.
Oh, and I think the first Fast and Furious movie was one of the last movies Paul Walker did before he died. So.
Well, there you go. How's that for bookending?
Yeah.
All right, that's a dark joke. Anyway, moving on before I get angry comments. Then we got Chappie.
Oh, this trailer I actually have seen.
Yeah, we've seen this one before.
Yes.
I don't know. Like, I saw a new trailer for not too long ago. It gave it an entirely different feel, so, like, I don't know what to expect from this movie. Well, I take it back. I do kind of know what to expect. It's gonna be the, but he's really a person you just don't understand. And then there's the big bad guy, like, no, AI is dangerous, rah, rah, which he has a point. He's clearly seen Terminator. It's Hugh Jackman who plays the villain in this movie, by the way, and he has a giant... Fuck, it's a Metal Gear!
When I was watching this trailer this time around, show how much of a nerd I am, it reminded me of a Star Trek The Next Generation episode called Measure of a Man, where Data is actually put on trial to determine if he is an ascendant being or if he is property of Starfleet and should be decommissioned and dismantled. And that episode was only about 45 minutes, and I have a feeling it covered and articulated a lot of the same points that this movie is going to make.
Yeah, this one has a little tiny robot going against a giant mech. So there's that. Not even kidding. That's what happens. They show it in the newer trailer.
Okay.
So it's like, okay. The director is kind of a mixed bag, because on one hand you have District 9, on the other hand you have Elysium. Both of which have the subtlety of... I can't think of a good analogy, but...
A sack of bricks?
There you go. Because, like, here's your moral message. This is wrong. This is right. We think you should think this. He's not very subtle. That's my point.
I gathered.
And we got Unfinished Business. For the life of me, I can't remember what this movie is.
Neither can I.
So let's look at the one I do care about, which is Kingsman.
Now,
which looks fantastic.
This was my first time seeing this trailer, and it looks awesome. I want to see this.
This movie looks fantastic. I can't wait.
I am going to see this. If I have any money left in my bank account, I'm going to see it.
Like, it's like... I think it comes out, what, March?
March or April.
Something like that. Either way, I saw the Red Band trailer not too long ago, and it looked even better, because there was, like, blood and swear words. And this is an R-rated movie.
Ah.
So, like, this is not a PG-13 movie. This is like Kick-Ass, but with spies.
Okay.
It also helps by the same director.
That works.
But it has a paraplegic with both the legs cut off, and one of the leg prosthetics has a sword.
Nice.
So I am in.
Oh.
It has Samuel Jackson as the villain, but he has a lisp. I am in. It has the penguin parrot umbrella, but it's actually cool. I'm in.
I just hope that Samuel Jackson will make a better villain in this than he did in The Spirit.
Oh, that's not fair. No one came out of The Spirit looking good.
True.
I mean, I sat through that piece of garbage. He's Samuel Jackson. He's doing Samuel Jackson shit.
Yes.
He is the one true badass in the Star Wars franchise, because he actually beat the Emperor. The reason he died is because that wussy Anakin killed him. And that was a sucker punch, if I've ever seen one. So. Seriously, if that's the one good thing we got in the prequel series, was Samuel Jackson as the badass Jedi.
Yes.
And even that, I kind of wish he wasn't as toned down as he was in those movies, but that's a whole nother thing. I would love to see a Jedi Sam Jackson just swearing up like a motherfucker.
Well, maybe one day you will, since there are apparently more Star Wars movies to come.
Yeah, I have faith in the new ones, but at least so far it looks more true to the original stories than any of the prequels did. So.
That I will give you, yes.
Yeah. And turns out the sucker ball was actually practical effects.
Ah.
Yeah, not CGI. I was surprised to find that out too.
Interesting.
So I was like, oh, that's cool to know.
Definitely.
But yeah, I think that's it. So you got any closing thoughts?
You can pass on this one and rewatch the first Taken movie.
Wait for John Wick to come out in a couple weeks.
That too,
Rent that.
apparently.
I'm gonna go home and watch I'm gonna watch Die Hard when I go home.
But it's not even Christmas.
I don't care. Die Hard is timeless. Like, we viewed it any time of the year.
I know. I was just joking.
Or Die Hard 3, if you really need to, because either one's fine. You know, random racism talks aside. But, and Samuel Jackson still is that, too.
Yeah.
So, being a badass. Samuel Jackson was a badass in that movie.
That's why in Pulp Fiction he has a wallet that says badass motherfucker.
It's motherfucker,
Oh,
not
okay.
motherfucker. They don't put the A is not there. I've seen, because I've looked at that wallet because I've almost bought it a couple times. So.
It's one of those things that I'd like to buy as well. But yes, you are right.
Granted, stairs I would get at the convenience store. Pulling that out might, not be good. But okay, so yeah, I'm kind of gonna skip. You can skip this. This is like the first bomb we've had so far this year, which, considering we've reviewed 3 movies so far, actually isn't that bad. Since it's January, which is notorious for releasing everything that's terrible out into the world.
Yes.
So far it's not bad. I mean, this is the worst it is so far, then okay, I'm fine with it.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah, I think we got Paddington next week. And Paddington's getting ridiculously good reviews right now.
That's surprising.
It has like 97% of Rotten Tomato right now. Wow. I know, I can't believe it either.
Wow.
And there's one other movie coming out, I can't remember.
Selma?
No, we saw Selma already.
Oh, you did, okay.
Yeah. American Sniper's finally getting a wide release, and The Wedding Ringer.
Which, one of my girlfriends is seeing tomorrow night, but I'm gonna pass on that
Good.
one.
Yeah, Paddington Bear has 98%.
Damn.
I know. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that, but it's 98 fucking %. Like, I still can't believe that.
That's crazy.
It has a higher rating than American Sniper.
Wow. Okay.
This is the only case where you could say a bear would beat a sniper.
Yes. A bear from a children's book, no less.
Yeah, so we'll do that next week. So I think that's all we got for now. So, bye.